Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Igho and this is Love Igho. Today we're going to be doing a DIY tutorial on how I made a sequin skirt. Sequin? I really don't know how that word is pronounced. I got these really gorgeous looking mermaid sequin fabric and I decided to make it into a midi skirt. So these are the things that you're going to need. We're going to need, of course, the sequin fabric, and I suggest that you get something with a significant amount of stretch like this one has, because we're not going to be sewing a zipper into the skirt. It's going to be something that you pull over your head or from the leg up depending on how you wear your skirts, and there's going to be an elastic band on the waist, so you need a skirt that has a significant amount of stretch. We're also going to be lining it with something stretchy. This is a jersey knit fabric, and we're going to need a pattern ruler, and we're also going to need a pattern maker or a curve to connect your waist to your hip to give you a nice, shape. And we're going to need an elastic band. You're also going to need some pins and 2 pairs of scissors, one fabric scissors and the other for cutting paper. Speaking of which, we're going to need pattern paper as well. So because we're using sequin fabric, there are 3 different things that you need to know. The first thing is, when we're cutting the fabric, we're going to be cutting the fabric sequin side, right side facing each other, because you don't want a situation where you start cutting the fabric and then you have sequins popping. So you're going to be cutting the fabric on the wrong side. We're going to fold the sequin fabric right side facing each other, and then we're going to cut. So that's the first tip. The other thing is, don't use your fabric scissors for paper and don't use your paper scissors for fabric. That is just a no-no. So if you don't have a spare, I just don't want to be responsible for breaking your scissors or for your fabric scissors not working. And the third thing you're going to need, of course, is your sewing machine. You're going to need a big needle. I have different needle sizes, and I'm going to be using a needle that I use to sew like leather material or denim. So you're going to need a really large needle to sew through your sequin fabric. You want to get something that can do some heavy lifting. So now that we have all our materials, let's get straight into the pattern making. This is just regular brown paper that I got from, I think it was Target, or I probably ordered it off of Walmart or Amazon. I will find one and put a link in the description box below. So we're going to need 3 different measurements to make this. You need your waist measurement, your hip measurement, and the length of the skirt, how long you want your skirt to be. To make the pattern, I'm going to start by drawing a line that kind of signifies the beginning of the skirt. Okay, this is going to be where our pattern will start from. Alright, so because I want my skirt to be a midi skirt, I measured the length from my waist, the top of my waist, to where I want the skirt to end, and it turned out to be 30 inches. So the length of my skirt is going to be, as you can see, 30 inches, right? From this line, it's going to be 30 inches. So I'm going to mark the 30-inch mark right there. Alright, so we have the waistline and we have the hemline drawn. Next thing you need to draw is your hip line. So we're going to measure 8 inches away from the waistline to get the hip line. Just keep marking, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect those marks together. And that is the hip line. Okay. I also shouldn't fail to mention that this is going to be a fold line, meaning when it's time to transfer the pattern to fabric, you're going to fold your fabric into 2, and then this is where the fold is going to be. So whatever you do here is going to be double when you open up the fold. You're going to need your waist measurement, your hip measurement, and the length. So for your waist measurement, you're going to divide it by 4. And so for me, that is 28 divided by 4, that's 7. And I'm just going to mark 7 inches here. Alright, so you're going to take your hip measurement and then divide that by 4 too. Mine is 37, and 37 divided by 4 is going to be 9.25. So you're going to take your hip measurement divided by 4 and then mark that. So 9.25, that's about right. Okay, so now that we have that, you're going to take the pattern master and we're going to use this to connect the waistline to the hip line. If you're very curvy, then you want to use the really curvy part of the ruler. I'm not that curvy, so I'm just going to create a little connection, a little curve to connect my waistline to my hip line, and then this is what you have. And then I'm just going to go ahead to connect the hip line straight on, a straight mark to the hemline. No need for a curve there, since I want the skirt to be a pencil skirt and not to have a flare. It's just going to be straight on. Alright, there we have it. That's it. It's really simple. That's the pattern. It's a basic A-line skirt pattern. So you have your waistline, your hip line, and your hemline. Like I said before, if you remember, we're going to be cutting the fabric right sides facing each other. Using this piece, one of these pieces, as a model, we're going to use this to cut out our lining material as well. So the next thing we're going to do is sew our lining sides together and do the same with our main fabric. You're going to measure or cut out an elastic that is 1 inch smaller than your actual waist measurement. So since my waist measurement is 28, my elastic is about 27 inches. Can see 27 inches. So we're going to join that at about less than half an inch, overlapping each other. So now that we have both fabrics sewn together, we're going to take the lining material and put the right side facing the right side of the main skirt and align them at the waist like this, because we're going to be joining them around the waistline, and we're going to take our elastic and line it up the same way at the edges. Okay guys, now that we have attached the elastic band to the skirt and we have sewn all three pieces together, that's the main skirt fabric, the lining fabric, and the elastic band, you can turn your lining fabric and turn it inside, put it inside the skirt, and let's arrange everything and see what we'll come up with. So this is what we're going to be left with, this way. So when you flip it, this is how it's going to be on the inside, neat. There are no sewn edges showing. Everything is clean. Yeah, and the elastic is going to make sure the skirt sits perfectly at your waist. So now you're just going to go ahead and hem the bottom of your skirt. That is it, you guys. Your skirt is ready to be worn. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe so you get first dibs on all my new videos. Keep in touch. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.